welcome to my channel. My name is Lindsay and this is Waldorf Inspired Roots. For those of you who may be new to my channel, I am a mother of two boys ages 15 and 2.5. And we are a Waldorf inspired family, but we also take some inspiration from the Montessori philosophy. I also have a few kids who come here for a preschool program that I run. They range in ages between 3 and 5. And so several of them will be going on to kindergarten at a public school. And so we also do incorporate some traditional academics into our preschool program to make sure that they are meeting the kindergarten readiness checklist that our local public school has provided. One of my viewers recently asked me if I would make a video describing what our circle time looks like. Now, I have done a video in the past, and I'll link it below, that shows what's in our circle time basket. So this video is going to be more of showing you what that looks like. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I would love to hear questions and feedback in the comment section below. So when we get ready to do circle time, the first thing that we do is the kids all sit down on the rug, which is currently in front of me, and we begin with a good morning song. So I've actually not really ever sang in front of anyone other than the kids, so I apologize ahead of time, but I do want to show you, or rather share with you, what some of the songs are that we do so that you can use them at home. So our good morning song goes like this. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Our day's just beginning, we have so much to do. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. So we begin with that every morning. And then the very next thing that we do is we read a book. I don't know if you noticed this IKEA bookshelf behind me, and I've also done a lot of videos that share some of our themed book collections. And so those are always in here. And sometimes I choose the book that we're gonna read, and other times I'll have one of my students choose the book, but they're all in here. And so we go through a story. We always read at least one, but sometimes two. It depends. Sometimes the kids will have a day that they are able to sit and they're really focused and things, and then other days they're a little more squirmy and things like that, so we may only get through one. It depends on the day. So after we have sang our good morning song and read a story, the next thing that we do is some learning songs. Other than my own personal kids, my 2.5-year-old and then my 15-year-old is homeschooled. My 2.5-year-old will be homeschooled. So besides my own kids, the kids that come to my preschool, all of them will be going to public school. So our local school district has a kindergarten readiness checklist. And even though we try to follow the Waldorf philosophy, we do have to do some traditional academics in order to make sure that my students who will go to public school are ready for that. But I think if you are trying to follow the Waldorf philosophy, but your kid may be going to public school, doing it through songs is a wonderful way to keep it fun and lively and whimsical without it being too heavy on the academics. Songs are great. And so even my 2.5-year-old, he picks up these things. He knows the songs. And so when we are ready to begin teaching him formal academics, he'll just have a little bit of a head start, and that's okay too. And for those of you who may not be familiar with the Waldorf philosophy, typically formal academics are usually postponed until first grade, until the child is closer to their 7th birthday. And that is because Rudolf Steiner, who is the founder of the Waldorf philosophy, believed that a child is more developmentally ready to go into that and it'll be easier. And there's been a lot of studies done that have shown that even children who have who have been taught in a way that academics were delayed, they all catch up, usually by third grade, they're all pretty even no matter what philosophy you followed. So, and I do like that. I feel like we put too much pressure on our kids personally. And I've got, some of the kids who were given, lists of sight words to practice over the summer and things like that, who are going into kindergarten. So to me, I'm just like, oh my gosh, why? So I do try to do it in a fun way. So the first song that we do that the kids love is our weather song. Now I do have a bunch of these posters. They are all by an Etsy shop, and you purchase it through Etsy. It's only a few dollars, and then it's a PDF, and there's several different colored themes. So I chose the turquoise because that's my favorite color, but there's also a purple theme. I believe there's a pink maybe, I can't remember, but they're watercolor looking, and so I liked it because that kind of goes with the the Waldorf sort of natural, even Montessori. It kind of goes with those ideas of keeping things very natural. I did go ahead and laminate them. They are by an Etsy shop called Happy Hepburn LLC. And like I said, you just pay a couple dollars and it is sent to you through as a PDF through email, I believe. And you can go ahead and print them and laminate them. They are beautiful. So we've got the weather song, the months of the year, the days of the week, colors, shapes, numbers, and vowels. And I have a song for most of these, and so I will show you what those are. These used to be hanging up on our wall with our chalkboard, but for the summer I took them down because we don't do these as much, or we don't do these really at all during the summer. We still do circle time, but in the summer our circle time is just singing our good morning song, reading a story, playing some games, and then we go into our centers. And so the ones who are going to kindergarten do some academics with me, at the table, and we do some games that are, everything is through play. But we don't so much do the academics during circle time. But this is one of their favorite songs. So this is the weather chart. And the song, we kind of do some hand movements with it, and it goes, what's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather like today? Is it sunny, windy, rainy? Is it a cloudy type of day? And so all the kids would run to the window and they would tell me what's the weather, and I would ask them questions and say, is it snowing today? And they'd say no, and they get so excited that I'm telling them the wrong weather, but just to get those words, so that they're getting familiar with those words. Is it windy? Do we see the trees blowing? And then I would let one of the students come, and these are Velcroed. I just used the little Velcro dots, and they could come and pick out which one it is. And then we would have already done outside time, because we do that as soon as the kids get here. And so I would ask, when we were outside, was it cold, or was it hot, or was it sort of in the middle? And if they tell me it was in the middle, I say, okay, so was it more cold than hot? And so we try to figure out the temperature, and that's what this section is for. The next one I'm going to show you is the days of the week song. So this is our days of the week chart, and I love that it has yesterday was, today is, and tomorrow will be. And these are also Velcroed, and then it has the days of the week. And I do point to them as we're going through so they can start to kind of recognize the words. And we also talk about, this part of it so that they can start to associate what comes before a particular day and what day comes after a particular day. And so here's the song that we sing with it. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week, and they are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The next chart that I'm going to share with you is our months of the year song. So it has all the months, and again, I will point to them as we go so that they can start to get a little familiar with what the words look like. And the song goes like this: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, months of the year. And we usually sing it 2 or 3 times. The next chart we don't do every day. And this is very much more so for the ones who are going to kindergarten soon. This is, older, but the viewer who had asked the question wanted to know what we did with our kids who are ages 4 to 5. Now we do this with all of the kids, and the younger ones have picked up on it, but this is more so for the 4 and 5 age group. So this is our vowel chart, and we sing a song for this as well. And so this one is: Old MacDonald had some vowels, A-E-I-O-U, and on his farm he had an A, A-E-I-O-U, with an A here and an there, here an A, there an everywhere an A. Old MacDonald had a farm, A-E-I-O-U, and on his farm he had an E, A-E-I-O-U, with an E here and an there, here an E, there an everywhere an E. Old MacDonald had a farm, A-E-I-O-U, and on his farm he had an I, A-E-I-O-U, with an I here and an I there, here an I, there an I, everywhere an I. Old MacDonald had a farm, A-E-I-O-U, and on his farm he had an O, A-E-I-O-U, with an O here and an there, here an O, there a everywhere an O. Old MacDonald had a farm, A-E-I-O-U, and on his farm he had a U, A-E-I-O-U, with a U here and an there, here a U, there an everywhere a U. Old MacDonald had a farm, A-E-I-O-U. The next 3 charts we don't have a song for. So if you're tired of hearing me sing, then feel good about that. So our next 3 charts are the numbers, shapes, and colors charts. And the way that I work this, I have a pointer, and I'll point to them, and they get to shout out whatever color it is. And this helps the ones who are younger who might not know their colors, and it works the same way with the numbers and the shapes. It helps them to be able to still say it and participate, but they'll typically say it a second after the other kids do, and that's perfectly fine. So we just go through each of the colors. Sometimes I go in order, sometimes I go out of order, but that's how we work this chart. That's also how we work our shapes chart. And then once we get down here to some of the harder shapes, I do try to give them the beginning, especially in the first little bit. I'll say, we'll go over what they are, and then once they start getting that, then I will say tur, and they'll tell me what it is. But I do have some fun. I'll say this one has 6 sides, and so they'll remember based on that. Some of the cue words. Octagon, we say it has 8 sides like an octopus, and then they remember because octopus and octagon have the same beginning sound. So that's how we do that. The next one is the number chart. Now the way that we work this is we'll typically count the dots, and I'll say, let's see how many dots are here, and we'll count them. 1, and we'll say, oh, okay, that's the number 1, and this is how you spell the number 1. And we'll go through, and again, I don't always do them in order, but we count the dots, and then we know that that's what the number is based on that. The next thing that we do are these alphabet cards. And these are also from Etsy. They are from Steph Hathaway Designs. And it has all of the letters associated with a picture. And again, it's in the watercolor style. And again, when you purchase it, it's not very expensive. And when you purchase it, it comes to you as a PDF and you can print it. And we laminated them. Now, the thing I liked about these is that for each of the vowels, there were 2 cards. There was a long vowel animal and there was a short vowel animal. And a couple of the other animals, there was more than one animal if it was, so like you had a choice of which animal you wanted to use, especially for some of the ones that were a little more obscure that the kids may not know. You had choices. I, in particular, decided to go with all of the short vowel animals as we go through here. And when it was up, I would use my pointer and we would sometimes sing just the alphabet song, and I would point A, B, C, D, and so on. But sometimes we would sing a chant, and we would say A, or ah, 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 B, 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 C, K, 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 D, 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 E, or eh, 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 F, 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 G, 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 H, I, or I, I. And sometimes we would sing another song and we would say, A is for alligator, ah, ah, ah. B is for bear, B, B, B. C is for camel, K, K, K. D is for dolphin, D, D, D. And I won't go through the whole alphabet on that song, but it just repeats all the way to Z. And that's how we would get through it. And so I kind of would change it up just so that the kids wouldn't get bored, you know, with these. The alphabet song can sometimes get a little boring, but I also wanted them to start to familiarize themselves with the letter sounds. And so we would just rotate, you know, which version we did for these cards. Now, if you saw my What's in Our, you know, Circle Time Basket video, then you've already seen some of these. There may be a few things that are new though, I'm not entirely sure. But if you haven't seen it, this is what our morning basket looks like. It is literally a basket and it has just different things. And so after we would sing all of our Circle Time songs, then I would go through and, you know, pick a game to play, or I have art cards in here. I've got poetry books, you know, several different versions of them. I have Grimm's fairy tales. Now, if I'm planning to read the Grimm's fairy tales, I would sometimes do that instead of reading one of our themed books. It depends. I also have the book LMNOP, and so, you know, for quite a while there, whatever our letter of the week was, if we were doing a letter of the week, which I have done it some years and I've not done it some years, but you can, you know, you can use this as a beautiful way to share, you know, a letter of the week, and it has poetry in it. We have Numerica, which is a book about numbers. We have King Maximo and the Number Knights, another book about numbers. We have Working with LMNOP. Now, this book I haven't really used yet. I feel like this one is more geared toward kindergarten, but if you do have a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old at home, I definitely recommend this book to accompany the LMNOP picture book. Some of the games that I have these story dice. Let's Go on an Adventure story dice, and these were found in the dollar spot at Target. And basically you just roll the dice and there's pictures all on the side, and you let the kids tell a story. Another thing that I keep in here is our My Little Matching game, and I purchased this from Bella Luna. My kids love this game, but it has the most beautiful watercolor illustrations, and it's, you know, the typical matching game that you have them all, you know, upside down, and they pick two, and if they match, they keep their card. And so, but these have the most wonderful illustrations on them. Another thing that we have in there are our famous paintings cards. And so if you're trying to introduce some of the, you know, classic famous paintings to your kids, it has a picture of the painting, and then on the reverse side, it will say who painted it, when, where, what's it made of, where can I see it, and then some, you know, facts and information, a did you know section, and a notice section. And so I'll just kind of flip through, you know, just a couple of these. There's all sorts of wonderful examples in here. And the last thing that I keep in here is our Ebu Create a Story cards. And I got this from A Child's Dream. And it's similar to the story dice in that it has, you know, different pictures, very whimsical, you know, very fun, you know, little pictures, and they can draw one picture or multiple pictures and tell a story. Another fun thing is to have each of the students draw one, you know, picture, and then let them tell a story, and then have the next person use their card to add on to the story. So that's a great way to encourage language development as well. So those are the things we have. So basically, just a quick recap. We sing our good morning song, we read a story, we sing all of our academic songs, then we'll play a game or do poetry or read from our letter of the week book or one of the other books that we have. And then circle time is over, and then we break out into our centers. So that's kind of the routine that we have. So if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I would love to hear questions and feedback in the comment section below. We'll see you next time. Bye.